Welcome to part 2 of our $225 Honda Civic Resurrection presented by eBay Motors. If you guys didn't watch part 1 of this series, then go back and watch it. We took care of a bunch of mechanical repair type stuff, as well as adding some performance parts. And today's episode, well, as you might have guessed from that montage off the top, is about cleaning this car up. So we've obviously just given a quick wash and we are going to polish the paint. But before we do that, have a look at the condition of the paint on this car. It has some epic swirl marks in the hood. Before you polish a car like this, you really want to remove any metal contaminants in the clear. And for that, we are going to use Sonax's Fallout Cleaner. This is designed to remove things like rail dust, brake dust, or other kinds of industrial and metallic stuff that gets trapped in the clear. And on like a white car, you can actually see like little orange or even rust-colored blooms starting in the clear, and that's from those types of contaminants, which apparently make up like 80, maybe 90% of the contaminants that you get in your clear. And Mike from Sonax Canada actually gives a really cool tip to feel the hood with your bare hand. And it feels a little bit rough, but overall it feels fairly smooth. And then put your hand in a Ziploc baggie, which I know is a little weird, but he says this will actually allow you to feel a lot more of that metal dust in the clear coat. And wow, it's like I'm reading Braille now. It's so much rougher. It's kind of crazy. So he says a great way to tell if you've gotten most of it out with the Fallout Cleaner is to do this test before and after. So now that I know how it feels before, we're going to go ahead and do this Fallout cleaning treatment. We'll feel it afterwards, and we'll see where we're at. All right, I think we are clean, and I should mention, it's a pleasure using this new little pressure washer that Pete picked up. This thing costs like 120 bucks, and as you can see, it's really lightweight and compact, so it's very easy to use in the shop here. We used to have a bigger, heavier duty one, and it was kind of flaking out on us, so we figured it was time to try something a little different. And 2800 PSI is all you really need to wash a car like this. It more than does the job, and it comes with a fitting here to quickly add on the soap so we can foam bomb the car. It's really perfect for like a DIY home type pressure washer. Well, back to our Ziploc baggie test here, and by hand it feels smoother than it did before. And yeah, wow, it is much better than it was. I can still feel a little bit in the clear, but that might be just down to the organic contaminants in the clear, like tree sap and moose sweat and those kinds of things. So I would say we are good to go, PT. Let's bust out the roups here and get to polishing.
So while Dave does the polishing work, I'm going to try to get a few odds and ends done on this car. The first one starting with this mirror. As you guys can see, it has certainly been hit here because it is pushed out. So I'm going to remove this and see what kind of damages, whether it needs to be replaced or not. And furthermore, I'm thinking we're going to be taking this a bunch of stuff to get painted on this car. Why don't we paint match these mirrors to the body? Because I think it'll look pretty cool. Huh, well that's a surprise. I thought this was going to be broken, the stud, but it looks like it's there. So this mirror looks like it'll pull right back in. Well, I started pulling off the mirror on this side, and of course, I dropped the nut that holds the mirror in place down inside the abyss of the door card. However, I do need to remove this door card because we have to fix this gray piece of cloth here. I don't know if you guys can see this or not, has been stapled on. So this is a common thing that happens with these cars. The adhesive starts peeling and then the cloth starts coming off the door card. Here we have our door card, and as you can see, quite a bit of it is not sticking. So I've resorted to using this Wellwood DAP contact adhesive. This is actually a spray-on adhesive. This is some of the best stuff on the market. So what I'm gonna do here is I've put some into my trusty cup. I've got my little foam pad, and I'm gonna dab both sides and then put this on and move it all the way back, and let's see how this goes. There you have it. Looks like job complete, decent job. I think it went down pretty well. Everything seems to be sticking. I did have to take this piece off right here and just tuck the fabric back down again because it did pull itself up, I'm sure of age and whatnot. But this job is now done, so let us see where Dave is on his polishing job.
All right, I am almost done polishing this thing, and as you can see, I haven't polished this side of the hood. I have polished that side just so you could kind of see
it's incredible.
It really brought it back to life a lot, didn't it? It's got a lot of shine, gloss back into it. There's a ton of like scratches and paint chips in it, so it's by no means perfect, but with a car of this value, there's just no point, I think, in going overboard on it.
We'd have to spend like 10 hours,
yeah,
multiple cuts and polishes,
exactly,
and 75%. I think perfect right now.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. I mean, that Sonax EX0505, the red compound, works remarkably well as a one-stage polish. Really happy with what it does with, you know, not a huge amount of time and effort invested in it. So it looks great.
We are back on the hoist, and that means it is time to do the headlight. But before that, I want to quickly mention we will ceramic coat this paint after it's been painted by the body shop and all the things have been fixed. So headlights. To polish these things would take a lot of time. As you can see, they're old. They've got that like dated chrome look. And after jumping on the eBay Motors app and searching for headlights, I couldn't pass these up at $82.69. Come on. Like, that is amazing, the price. I'm still blown away that they can make a headlight for that kind of money. And this one looks so much nicer. It's got that black housing instead of the chrome. I think it's gonna look super cool. So without further ado, let's get these bad boys installed. Well, what do you guys think? These headlights look pretty badass in my opinion. I've got to say, it's got a more modern-esque look. Once again, eBay coming through. They just have so many options. When you're looking for lips, eBay is the place to go. That is one thing for sure. And check this out, another $80 purchase. This feels like I'm staying within a really awesome budget. And I think this is gonna look super cool. Another 5-minute install. Man, these lips are getting good. The fitment on them is absolutely fantastic. Like, this one fit up like a glove. And guys, talk about looking good. Holy smokes, this car is getting there. I think we're just like, we just need wheels on this thing, which we do have. We're gonna save those for later. But right now, let's jump into the interior because it is filthy. In here, it's very standard fare. We're not gonna be touching anything, really just cleaning it up. As you can see, this thing was a daily driver, so it's real dirty. So it's time for me to get suited up. Here I am, ready to go. I've got my Tornado blasting gun, and this thing works wonders in the interior. It's one of my favorite tools, but as you can see, it does require some protection because well, that is all that she wrote for the tornado tool. Like you saw, it's really good. I certainly love what it does. It just does like a quick, it like pushes compressed air and some cleaning product out, and it just like lifts everything up. Now what we've got to do is vacuum this thing, wipe it down, clean it up. So let's show you what this thing looks like when we're all done.
All right, we are here at 242 Customs with our buddy Luke, and he's helping us out with this because there's some spots on it that we really want to make better. In particular, the rear quarter panel is bad enough that we want to have him fix that, which means bringing him the whole car. So that's why we didn't take the hood off to address this big old piece of cancer here, which is going to clean up. But there's a little dent there too that maybe you're going to push
Yeah, we'll push it up a little bit. Maybe a little skim of filler, some primer.
And you may have noticed too that this fender was dented in. It's badly enough dented that we went and grabbed a wrecker fender that's in good shape. It's not the right color, unfortunately, but
no, we'll paint this too.
Close enough. We could have just slapped it on there and maybe you wouldn't have noticed, but we also picked up a rear trunk spoiler, which we're gonna have paint matched, and this grill, but believe it or not, came with the front lip. For 80 bucks, you get this grill and the front lip on eBay, and we're gonna have Luke just paint this area down here blue like it is here. And of course the mirrors we've taken off too, because we're gonna paint match those as well. So we're gonna make it look good, but we're doing it on a budget.
Definitely.
Luke is known for like high-end, like show quality paint work. This is not going to be that, is it? We're just going to make it look good, and
we'll shine it up. We'll give it the spit shine special, I guess. Sand it down a little bit, scuff it up, paint it, polish it.
We don't want the rust to come back, so we'll seal it properly.
That's it. Take care of it, treat it.
But it's this ain't going to be SEMA ready, but it's going to look a whole lot better. So we'll let you get to it.
Awesome.
The boys at 242 Customs came through. Man, they got everything done in about 2 days, which is mind-boggling. We took care of the rust, which was the most important thing right here. Luke said it was actually worse than he thought, and he fixed the quarter as well. And of course, he painted up this fender, which we're gonna need to install. And here is the front grille that I mentioned. You guys probably haven't seen this before, but this is going to replace this, I think. What do you think, DP? I don't know. Like, I do like the Honda logo, but at the same time, I think that's gonna look cooler, right?
Let's give it a shot, right? We got it, we might as well try it.
So, and the last thing is, note the mirrors. I think when we decided to color match them to the car, it really does help tremendously. We also put that lip spoiler on the back. And there you go, fender's in place, looks great. However, we do have a slight debate going on here. We aren't sure about the new grille. It feels like it's just missing the Honda logo. This old one, I think, may have looked a little bit better, more kind of on point with the logo here. So Dave and I have been going back and forth debating. It feels bare. It does. I like this grille. It just doesn't have the Honda logo. So I think we're gonna go back to this. Well, we're back to that stock grille, and I certainly think it looks better. So we are officially good to go on the exterior of this car, which means it is time for a wheel and tire reveal.
Bam! There you have it, everyone. That is our wheel and tire package, and man, it looks good. We've gone with a high shine wheel here. Typically, we might have gone with like a matte black center, which this wheel does come in, but we thought, you know what, let's try something a little different. Let's go for the pop, the shine on this Fiji blue. I think this is really gonna look pretty great. So lots of like high contrast going on here. This, of course, is Koenig's counter-gram wheel. It is a flow-formed wheel, so it's very light and very strong. It's really motorsports grade equipment. For tires, we've gone with Continental's Extreme Contact DWS 06, which is a very high performance all-season tire. So this thing can be used year-round, and typically we wouldn't say use an all-season tire in the winter, but we actually did a winter tire test with these versus a true winter tire, and these were exceptionally good in dry but very cold winter conditions. And even in light snow, I found these to be a very, very good winter tire. And they are a world-class wet performance tire too. So if you're looking for a tire that you can use all year round with very high performance in wet and dry and even light snow and very cold conditions, I would say this is a truly class-leading world-class tire. So excited to slap these on here, get this car on the ground, and finally do the big reveal so you can see what this thing really looks like.
Holy smokes, everybody. What a transformation. I am pumped how this thing turned out. Obviously, we did not do a lot of mods. It's small, simple things that we've done have really transformed the look of this car. I am absolutely stoked how it turns out, but now let's find out how it drives. First impression.
Well, we're rolling on Hamilton's bumpiest roads again, and I think the K2 and K1 streets actually do ride exceptionally well, don't they? And
yeah, I think we've never ever had a complaint of them not riding well on the street.
Yeah, they're a really good street setup, and I mean, the car feels good. It's really quite quiet. I was concerned that maybe the exhaust would be really loud and raspy.
Yeah,
you know, all the things you don't want out of like your like you know, stereotypical modified Honda. But it's actually very quiet. It's very restrained. It's only a little bit louder, deeper, but only maybe a little bit louder than stock, I would say.
It's weird for me. It feels tighter than it was, and we didn't change the bushings or anything. But man, I think that it was just on old, worn-out suspension.
Yeah, we firmed up the suspension so much, and I mean, you know, we're not carving corners out here, obviously, but it does definitely feel like it's.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's no body roll in it anymore, and brakes feel good. They feel nice and fresh. There's, you know, you used to have that vibration in it, so that's all gone. And let's see if we can get a little intake noise here, PT. What do you say? You ready?
Yeah, give her. Holy, it is slow.
Woo! Full street racer move right there.
That is it's not exciting.
It's not a rocket ship. No. I mean, the slush box doesn't help. Obviously, in a perfect world, we would have grabbed a car with a manual, but you don't choose $200 cars, do you, really?
But the noise it's making is actually not bad.
It's not.
Like the intake noise is there. The exhaust is like, you can barely hear it. I listened to you drive around a couple times, and man, it is, to me, like in my opinion, the perfect street exhaust. It has just like a little more tone.
Yeah.
You can hear it if the windows are down. Like, that's about it.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get drone. You're not gonna get pulled over with something like this. It is perfect for daily street use, right?
It really is. All right, everybody, there you have it. We have saved this $225 car and turned it into a really fun car to rip around on the street in, and I think it looks amazing too, so I'm really pumped on how this thing has turned out. And let me just fire up my eBay Motors app here, and we'll do the math on what all these parts have ended up costing us. So just looking at our watch list here, as you would have seen at the end of the previous episode, our total, including the cost of the car, was $2,770. And in this episode, we have, of course, done those Koenig wheels and Continental tires, which the wheels were $873 and the tires were $330. We also did this front lip, which was $80, and that little rear spoiler, which was $65. We did the headlights, of course, which were $82. We bought that replacement fender for $35, and then we took a bunch of those parts to paint. Well, we took the whole car for paint to, you know, touch up the rear quarter and the hood and stuff, and that paint work cost us $375. Which brings us up to a grand total of $4,610. But wait, there's more, because used catalytic converters are worth a lot of money these days, folks, because there's precious metals in them. So we sold that used cat out of that broken header for a whopping $350. It's kind of mind-blowing.
It's more than we paid for the car.
Yeah, it literally is more than we paid for the car. So that brings our grand total down to just $4,260. So pretty pumped that we now have this car looking this good for that price.
Well, I think that is going to be a wrap on this one, DP.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed saving this car, and feels like we did a good thing somehow.
For sure we did, and I gotta give a big shout out to my neighbor who essentially gifted me this car. Thank you so much. He would have had to put a bunch of money into fixing that cat. Like, if he's not a do-it-yourselfer in that sense.
It's probably like a $1,500 job.
Easy. So for him, it was time to say goodbye. But you know what? For us, that meant this huge opportunity. So thank you very much. We certainly appreciate it, and we now have this awesome car. What are we gonna do with it?
That's the question, isn't it? We've got too many cars around here already, so I don't know. We gotta find it a new home somehow.
Do we, do we like give it away? Do we sell it? Do we put it up on eBay? Like, what do we do here?
Like a cousin who's a young kid who's just getting his license and needs a car?
eBay, thank you so much for sponsoring this build. We certainly appreciate it. Without companies like them, these builds would not happen. So definitely support them because they support us. And make sure to give this video a like if you liked it. Make sure to turn that notification bell on. So thank you again. We will see you very soon.
I'm Yuri.
I'm Jacob.
And we're fixing this Civic.